Hello and welcome to another episode of You Might Want to Sit Down for This Podcast. I'm your host, Kevin Von Helvet. Happy New Year, everybody. Coming to you from my home in Cloverdale, British Columbia, Canada, which is very winterish these days. It's raining today, which is pretty normal for this time of year. This area where I live, but the last 3 weeks have been snow. So we had a white Christmas, a lot of cold snow, people out ice skating on ponds where they would normally not be frozen. We felt like Canada for a few weeks here in the usually very warm, rainforested area of Vancouver and the Lower Mainland. This podcast comes to you from the traditional territory of the unceded Coast Salish territory of the Katzie, Kwalin, Makwi, and Stolo people. So I don't think it was always called fucking Cloverdale where I live. It's not even called fucking Cloverdale now, but it should be called fucking Cloverdale. You might want to sit down for this pandemic. Sit down a bit longer. Don't know where you're listening from or where you're at, but we're kind of back to lockdown with this Omicron bullshit. And it is, starting 2022 a huff in that mode. And then fucking Danny Tanner, Bob Saget passes away yesterday, which out of nowhere, very sad. Full House fans, America's Funniest Home Videos fans, dick joke enthusiasts for sure. I watched one of his specials from I think 2013 last night. I'd never watched a full special of his, but impressive. He pretty much did nothing but crowd work, and it was just bringing the audience in, making cock jokes, making mostly cock and shit jokes. Unbelievable. Even saw some of my fellow friends, comics here posting about him. A lot of people posting about Bob Saget, just saying that he was one of a kind, one of the nicest guys in showbiz. No, rest in peace, Bob Saget. That's fucking sucks. But hopefully, maybe he's up having a beer with Norm Macdonald, a couple old schoolies, old buddies. Maybe that's going down. Maybe there is a heaven. I don't know, but I don't know. I was thinking about this earlier. Like Norm Macdonald, I'm pretty sure he was sober when he passed away. He'd been sober for a long time. Substance abuse issues, so he quit drinking. But if he went to heaven, would he just say, fuck it, and have a beer? Are there beers in heaven? Do you need substances in a place that's just all good feels all the time? Or is that just make it even better? You just go to heaven and forget your demons, because there's no demons in heaven, and just get fucked up, smash beers, do drugs, party. Who knows? I do not know. I've not been to heaven. Their elevator is broken as far as I know. So is the one to hell, thankfully, for me, for right now. But yeah, like, do ghosts party? Or what if like ghosts that we see are the like fucked up, drunk, or high ghosts? Like they forget their ghost, so they open a door, they bump into something because they're wasted and they knock over a glass and you're like, my house is haunted. But it's just some drunk ass, fucking dumbass, alcoholic ghost. I don't know. These are things I think about. I've been thinking a lot because I haven't been doing anything because we're pretty much in lockdown. Been watching a lot of documentaries, some movies. Watched a crazy. I watched that Don't Look Up, which definitely was gnarly, with Leonardo DiCaprio and just a strong cast. Nothing's come to the top of my mind right now who else is on that, but it was a lot of stellar performers and a gnarly story about an asteroid coming to Earth. If you haven't checked it out, check it out. Ultimate messages about climate change and also just this weird ass world we live in these days where some people over here and some people over there, we're not meeting too well in the middle these days. I started watching this fucking thing on the BTK, which is a serial killer. And I try not to watch those, but they're all the hype right now. Almost every fucking podcast or documentary or docuseries, like it seems like 50% of them. I'm sipping on a mimosa. Sorry if you're not watching and you hear these little pauses. That is why. Just living up a little New Year's. What up? It's a few days after New Year's though, but yeah, like there's all these fucking movies about serial killers. And I was thinking, like, dude, like we were in this weird place where people we're isolated. We're at in my lifetime, the most, I'd say, divisive people ever been, choosing your side, whether it be COVID or whether it be politics. And then add fuel to the fire. You've got all these shows about murdering people that pretty much are blueprints on how to fucking murder people. I'm not the conspiracy guy at all, but like I was like, oh, ugh. Like sometimes I think about these things and I'm like, maybe those people I call conspiracy kooks aren't total fucking kooks. We live in strange ass times. That is for sure. These goddamn serial killer docs. Probably the best documentary I watched recently, though, was called Feels Good Man. And it's about the artist named, what was his name? Matt Fury. And Matt Fury, I'm saying that right, is an artist. He looks like kind of like a skater, surfer, kind of stoner, just chill, rad dude, you know? He's got a wife, kid, just living a normal life as an artist. Came up with this thing called Pepe the Frog. You might be familiar with it. I think because I'm a bit older, I don't really know. But I'd see it, that frog image, kind of sad frog thing. That was like his, and it was just like a pretty innocent cartoon of like just chilling with buds and, you know, toilet humor, and I pretty sure stoned humor. And then it got adopted, like the image got adopted by like 4chan fucking weirdo virgins. And then like all these racists and shitty people who just started like posting this picture to do with like all these horrible things. It became like a symbol of like the exact opposite of what it was supposed to be. And it's about Matt's story, like basically losing this character to like the most garbage fucking humans in the world for the most garbage purposes, like, yeah, racism and fascism and fucking just shitty things. And then just try to claim it back. I really want to get Matt on this podcast. Matt, if you're listening or somebody knows Matt, throw a shout out. But who I got on this podcast, this one is all good vibes. And it is my man, fucking Jon Gazi, who's a buddy who I met on the road through the Mad Caddies. He was touring with the Mad Caddies, playing some tunes and helping them with their equipment and all kinds. He's like sort of the jack of all trades for the band. Just a rad dude, pro surfer, skateboarder, musician, and he lives in paradise in the U.S. Virgin Islands, where if you're fortunate enough to be watching this on YouTube, you'll get to see his backdrop. The whole entire interview is fucking amazing. It's tropical. He's looking off his balcony at like just lush blue tropical forests and ocean that I just want to jump my ass in. Like it's gorgeous. He's in, I think that's the Caribbean, the U.S. Virgin Islands. It's somewhere south and warm from here, where I'm sure all of us who are cold right now would love to be sipping on a mimosa or something fruity or something virgin, but not being one of those 4chan weirdo virgins. Don't be those fucking guys. Get a hooker, get laid. Fucking, rather than spend all your time on a computer writing manifestos, watch a few rom-coms and learn a couple pickup lines and go meet a girl or go online dating or a guy. Just get laid, jerk off. I don't know. Blow some more loads. Let's blow more loads in 2022. That should be blow more loads than blowing off guns. That should be the resolution. Blow more loads than more hot air about your stupid ass conspiracy theories in 2022. So yeah, we're gonna jump into the interview with Jon Gazi. Just want to say Happy New Year again to everyone. It's a fun interview. We're gonna do it in 2 parts because it went long because me and him just chatting. But yeah, just some good vibes. Chatting about skateboarding. He's a pro surfer. Talking about getting like surfing in the Olympics. Talking about living in Hurricane Alley, which kind of ties in with that Don't Look Up I was talking about earlier. You know, climate change. Dude lives at a tropical island where like fucking massive hurricanes come through. So we talk about that. It's kind of gnarly. This guy's just rad, positive, upbeat attitude though, man. And he plays some dope tunes too. And we playing some of those tunes on this podcast. Jon play a little acoustic number. So we'll throw that on there too. If you're watching the YouTube video, which you can find on the website, www.sitdownforthispodcast.com. You can find the link to YouTube, and the YouTube's just Sit Down for This Podcast. You can watch this, but if you're listening, Spotify, Apple, Amazon, where the fuck, hey, cool. Use your imagination, imagery. Think of a dude with dreadlocks chilling in the raddest place on earth, living his good life, making good music, skateboarding, surfing. Yeah. Fuck yeah. Places where we would like to be, things we'd like to be doing right now. Shout out to Comedy Here Often, of course. And yeah, everyone who makes this thing possible. Rock and roll. Here comes your next episode with Jon Gazi.
I said, girl, that we line. She said that's a waste of time, but I could not watch her.
I mean, we're going to redo that because that was great. You know, for all the people who watch on YouTube, we got my man Jon Gazi here with like a picturesque, epic backdrop.
Not
the best one I've seen,
bro. You got Mr. Cheap Pig, bro. You got the dope backdrop.
That's not a bad one either, right? But that's, look at those tropical blue waters. Where are you coming from, man?
Yeah. Good morning from the north side of beautiful St. Thomas here in the Virgin Islands. Yeah. it's nice to wake up right here, man. It's beautiful place to wake up every morning. Not gonna lie.
You go out there and have your coffee every morning, just kind of have your little
Yeah, dude. I feel it's crucial to, you know, it's a small island, but we lived on a few different parts of the island growing up, and like I just feel it's important to kind of be where you want to be. You can look down and see the waves, and you know, wherever it is in the world you live, I feel like you should really have that wake up and just be excited to where you're at. And you know, even
that's a good way to start the day.
Totally. Even if it's on your buddy's kitchen floor, if that's what makes you happy.
So you're basically saying, like, if you're gonna pass out at a buddy's, pass out on a buddy's floor that has a good view in the morning.
Yeah, dude. There you go. Or his porch with his
porch.
His dog licking up on your ears. I have a friend. I don't know, for some reason he's got an extra bedroom, got a nice hammock right here and everything, and he always wakes up on the dog bed. But right out here on the
maybe just wants dog cuddles.
Doesn't. You know,
or I don't know, maybe just, you know, like you just that I sometimes have that hungover shame where you're like, I'm a piece of shit. I don't belong in the hammock. I belong in the dog bed. I've been bad tonight.
Oh man. Yes, sir.
Dude, I know I've asked you this before. And I can't quite remember, but were you born and raised Virgin Islands?
Born stateside. Yeah, born in illustrious New Jersey.
Jersey.
Yeah, I was born there and raised here on St. Thomas, out on the east end. So just to give you your bearings, you're looking basically straight to where you live from right off of this porch. This is straight to the northwest.
Okay.
Thomas.
Waving at myself.
Yes, man. There you are. You're
yo.
Ironically enough, the way I got it positioned, it's exactly the way we're looking off the porch here. Yeah, man. This island's only 13 miles from west to east, and then north to south only 3 miles.
Wow.
So yeah, tiny little rock out here in the sea.
Does everyone know everyone or what?
For the most part, you know, especially around, you know, your general scene or your lifestyle, whatever it is that you do in this island, for sure. You definitely are. You seeing the same familiar faces every day, whether you work out on a boat, charter boat, or down in town. A lot. Our main deal here is tourism. So it's been an interesting almost 2 years now with COVID, because we have, you know, we depend on the cruise ships and we haven't had any.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's been an interesting time. But yeah, for the most part, yeah, you definitely you see a lot of the same familiar faces. Even people that maybe I never even had a conversation with them or like know their name. I've like known them since I was like a kid.
Yeah. It's just like a familiar nod. What's up?
Yeah. But yeah, thanks to my grandfather, he came here just like that on a cruise back in 1972, and my parents were teenagers at the time, and they started coming down with him. He came back like a month later and bought a place on the East End. So
Yeah.
my parents had a hub here, and then they chose to raise my two sisters and I here growing up.
Dude, it looks like paradise. And it seems like one of those things where everyone wants to do it. Just be like, fuck it. And just like uproot life and just move somewhere tropical and dope. But not many do. So kudos to your grandpa, and obviously living proof right there that it was a good choice.
Yeah, I couldn't thank him enough. Could not thank him enough. You know, it's really a really special place, and small town kind of atmosphere. So it really is like a one of a kind of a deal. And that's funny about the Caribbean. Like you go all the way, you know, stepping stones down to South America from here down to Trinidad. Every island is relatively close to one another, but so very different, you know. So St. Thomas definitely has its own deal, own thing going on, its own quirks and wild side, like most places, you know.
I bet. Yeah. And I feel like, is there a pretty young population? Like, because I see a lot of your videos and stuff or posts on social media, and like skating and surfing and music. It looks like partying are a big part of the culture there, which makes sense just looking at, I mean, it's tropical and is it pretty much summer all year round?
Yeah, we don't sway more than a few degrees.
Oh, yeah.
Honestly, the whole year long. Like where I'm at here, this is like top of the rock. We're at about 1,500 feet, just below 1,500 feet, like right behind me, behind you here.
Yes.
Is you know, not huge mountains like we know, like, and you know, the Rockies and whatnot, but 1,500 feet's the peak. So up here it's actually 10 degrees easily from down there at sea level.
Oh, 10-degree difference. I thought you were meeting me on the Celsius.
10 degrees Celsius, I think that's a little more significant, right?
Yeah, it don't get that cold. That's probably what it is here, if it's even that right now, which is why, again, I'm like envious. I'm like, dude.
10-degree difference. So I mean, noticeable difference.
Yeah.
Like you put your hand out the truck on the way up the hill, and you know, you feel the air change just from a 5-minute drive from the beach up here to up the hill. You know, it's just like 13 miles like this, and then 3 miles like this, but it's sea level to 1,500 feet in that short 3 miles. You know, so
man.
Apart, like different from the Bahamas, which are like flat, like Florida, like a pancake. This place is really steep and lush and mountainous. We're up here in the jungle. There's my yard here is food. Like
yeah.
Yeah, we have my favorite local fruit is Soursop. We have like 4 trees here.
Heard of that?
Yeah, it's in Spanish is guanabana, which is fun to say.
Yes.
But yeah, it's maybe about yay big, a little bit smaller than a coconut, and like all spiky around it. Look it up if you never had a soursop.
Oh, I feel like I've seen those in the grocery store before. Like they have kind of like green with kind of like purpley kind of spikes, or is that dragon fruit or something?
Dragon fruit. That's dragon fruit. The more purple kind. This one is like dark green and almost kind of like you maybe think would be like a durian or a jackfruit kind of a deal, but it's got more of a shape like a brain.
Yeah.
And they're sweet. They're good. They're not like savory like a jackfruit. They're you know. Anyway, we got a heap of soursop. There's like 30 banana trees right in front of the porch here, and avocados, and the whole fence is passion fruit all the way up the hill, and coconuts, and yeah, the whole jam.
Dude, I need avocados right now. How quickly can you expedite? I was gonna make some fajitas tonight. I'm like, I gotta go buy those fucking Canadian avocado. They're always rock hard this time of year, you know what I mean? It's hard to find a good one. Best of times. Imagine for you, if they're growing outside, you kind of got better pickings.
You got Mexican Canadian avocados, or are you actually growing some up there?
No, I don't think they grow them. I don't know. I'm pretty sure they're all imported. And I mean, there's no way they could grow them outside here, I don't think, unless maybe greenhouse or something, but I think they're all imported. So probably Mexico or like SoCal.
At least you're getting the good Haas avocados. we love our local avocados. They're a lot bigger than the hospital get. They're like, no joke. Sometimes you'll get them the size of like a smaller size coconut, like big old avocados like that. But they're a little more like watery and not as flavorful. But they're still really, you can make some mean guac out of them. But you get the bad Cali and Mexican avocados out west. We got when we get those in, they're $5 to $7 a piece. You know.
Holy shit, dude.
We get the hot ones.
Well, yeah, I imagine stuff is it pricey there because everything, well, like other than your fruit and whatever grows there, like it's coming in from somewhere else, right? Especially during the pandemic and shit where the shipping's gotten trickier.
That's the main qualm of people living here. Have neighbor coming up the hill, you hear the neighbor coming up the
All good, yeah, man.
That'll be like a main qualm. You hear people that more so move here, as we say, like transplant people that move down. Yeah. And like that the cost of living is significantly higher than a lot of places, kind of comparable to Hawaii. Yeah. Because you're right. Now everything is shipped in here and scarce. Like we can't just like run down to whatever super center and get what you want. When I go stateside or up to Canada and I walk into the supermarket, I'm like, look at all the choices. Yeah. Here it's like we got a few of the product, even the big stores got like a few little products and it's super expensive, but it's one of the prices to pay to live here. And for sure. Yeah. That's the trade-off, right? I know even like Vancouver, where I live, is really expensive, but you're paying to live on the ocean with the mountains and in a good country and all that stuff. So it kind of comes with it. So like you go to America though, and like they're like, all right, John, you let's land in town, buddy. What do you want to do? Like, you want to go to the Peeler Bar? You want to go watch a punk rock show? You're like, can we just go to fucking Whole Foods so I can just check out shit? Whole Foods and Walmart and Walmart. I was gonna say there's no Walmart there, right? All of America. Let's just soak it up while we're there. We're like beeline to Taco Bell, Yeah. No, sometimes it's cool to get all that, the stuff. But at the end of the day, the trade-off is like simpler life living here in the tropics, and it's a trade-off. It's definitely different than having the amenities. Where I'm a dad now. Yeah, dude, I was gonna ask you about that, how the weekend went. And it was great. Baby Brixton Soul, his first birthday, man. It's wild, like just being a parent here and being able to get what you need, getting everything from diapers to wipes to food, to formula and stuff. Like since he was born, we've had my fiance Jane's mom and dad sending us down like all the supplies we need, because you can't just go to the store and get what you need most of the time. You go to the store and it's like sold out, or they just don't have it, or it's a big part of island life is not having like what you'd like to have when you go to the store. Yeah. So yeah. Did you bring an empty suitcase when you leave? Like now your suitcase be full of like booze and fucking skate clothes. Now it's gonna be full of diapers. Yeah. Formula. A little shift of gears lately, but the best shift of gears, man. He's just so rad and so fun to be around. He don't even really talk yet, and I swear he's got jokes for days. Nice. He's wild. I can't be actually in there sleeping right now. He just been all morning going. The first thing I see every morning when I pop my head up is he's already standing up and he goes, "Hi, Dad." Oh, no way. He's just ready to go. Ready, man. Ready to go. Ready for the road. Yes. Have you got him on a board yet? The first time he touched a skateboard, he was 1 month old. The day he turned 1 month, and I hold him by the waist with his little baby van slippers on, and took him up back and forth on the little 3-foot mini ramp, and he was like ear to ear, loving it from. So I've always had a couple of skates, little mini skates in his little playpen zone, and he flips it over. He tries to use it as like a stepping stool to get up out of the playpen deal. Yeah. But but yeah, he loves it, man, and we always trying to get him around the culture. Not to push it on him. If anything,
you can't push it on him, because that's when he's like, "Fuck you, Dad. I'm gonna get rollerblades."
Yeah, totally. or even worse, a scooter.
Yeah, a scooter. Yeah, I'm gonna rebel and get scooter. I'm gonna ride a scooter with rollerblades on.
No.
Yeah.
But no, man, just being around the culture, which is really budding here on island. You know, there's like a few of us growing up skating over the years, and right now it's like the plague. It's like the Rona. Sorry.
Yeah.
Spreading like the Rona.
But skateboarding is
on St. Thomas. Yeah.
Yes.
So it's just what we're around, and the surf culture he's a little bit further down the road to be getting out in the waves, but you know,
yeah,
to getting on a board under his feet and whatnot. You know, we've been really inspired lately, sparking interest in skateboarding here in the Virgin Islands. A core crew here on island have just been going at it, and
yeah.
There's an initiative that the boys even started called Skate Thomas, which we've had a few different companies reach out to, wanting to be a part of, sending us, like, I can't even imagine what the shipping costs, like these boxes of decks and trucks and wheels that I could hardly even lift.
Yes.
Like 20 complete skateboards to give to kids that like don't have a mom and dad that could take them to the store and buy them what they need, you know. So yeah, dude,
that's rad.
Really cool time right now for the skate culture, and for all the groms, all the little ones, man, just like fire in their eyes, ready to go.
I think that's so good, because it's a tough, you know, I'm like going to schools and stuff and working with kids. It's a fucking tough time right now. And with like before the pandemic, right? There's just so much shit. So to have something, outlets like skateboarding or surfing, like just something to pour that energy into and away from, and you learn such good skills from it too. Like, I mean, you just learn life building skills. You learn perseverance, skateboarding. Like, it's a tough sport. You learn camaraderie with your brothers and like healthy competition, and just like there's a lot of good values instilled in a person, when opposite to what some people used to think, like skateboarding's a crime, but it actually can breed good humans. You being an example.
All the boys here as the prime example. You know, it's like you
I've yet to meet them, but I will come visit and sleep in your dog bed one of these days, and meet everybody.
My dog bed is your dog bed, buddy.
Sweet.
No, but yeah, you definitely would love it out here with the breeze, dude. You love it. You love it. If you want to come inside, that's all right too. If you want to come back inside the house too. But yeah, I mean, it's especially here in the islands, it's something that like is really foreign to a lot of people, especially the officials, you know, government types that
skateboarding.
Yeah. I mean, like,
really, I would have thought it was like a huge part of the culture, just because I would assume is surfing pretty big there.
It's truthfully, it's not, you know.
No.
Neither is swimming.
Really?
Which is bizarre to even say, because I mean, of course it is with like, you know, transplant type people that moved here to be around the ocean. That's why they're here. They're here to be in the sea and be out on the boat and stuff. But like West Indian culture here, all throughout the Caribbean, it's not been a big part of the culture of swimming, you know. And it's crazy, but it actually dates all the way back to days of slavery, when it was a form of, at times, a form of torture. And, you know, and it was like very, very intimidating. The ocean is boss. And
for sure.
So, I mean, a lot of that has long since been weeded out of the culture and promoted with some public swimming pools and stuff that have, a public swimming pool here on the island. There's one. So it's just like a lot of the culture does not just surround the ocean, apart from the generational fishermen, you know, and people that live off of the sea.
Yeah.
But yeah, so like surfing is they walking on, try to get on like the public bus. They go like, you can't bring that skateboard on here, you know.
You're like, it's a surfboard.
Yeah, where you going with that boogie board? Like that's kind of how it is around surfing, and skating is obviously within the same culture and whatnot. So it's been a big motion right now to get a park built here on the island.
Yeah. Yeah. Cause it looks like a gravel road behind you, but you're pretty far up. So, I mean, is there like a cityscape to like skate or obviously there's gotta be some town city stuff, but.
Yeah, there's a couple public parks. There's a place called Emancipation Gardens that we grew up skating in a lot, and all around the island, a couple little spots here and there. And lately, there's a set of basketball courts where we're able to the boys have built like some pop-up little home ramps, wooden ramps that we're able to set up on the courts, have the session, which has been regularly on Tuesdays lately. And then, but when we're done, you got to move them all off the court. So there's a lot of setup and tear down kind of a deal. But it's wild. You drive by, there's a ton of ramps, whole slew of ramps there now. But it's a thing.
Cool. So there's people playing tennis with just like a wall of ramps to the side otherwise, eh?
No, it's the basketball courts.
Oh, basketball. Why did I think tennis? I don't know why tennis on my mind.
It was originally, you might have seen some photos from last year. We were on some same kind of a setup, but on tennis courts out on the east end of the island, and had been given like permission from like the condos next door, from like the maintenance manager there, and was like, yeah, go ahead. Basically, the way it went down was he was like, yeah, go ahead. They're not doing anything with that, you know, whatever, do your thing. And then when it started turning into a thing and like 30 people are showing up to skate, the landowners got word, and the big L liability word.
Yeah.
And so that was squashed right away. So we had to find a whole nother deal. And so, yeah, anyway, we are now, but yeah, we're definitely working hard towards getting the first concrete poured park here in the Virgin Islands.
That'll be rad. I grew up in a little town where we always wanted a skate park. And I mean, we're lucky that we didn't have to fucking travel off an island to go find one. Right. But still, you know, especially when you're young, like, cause getting on a bus or, you know, getting a ride, or your buddies don't have cars, you gotta rely on your parents maybe to drive you an hour or 45 minutes to a park. You just want one in your hometown, one you can skate to or walk to or whatever, ride your bike to. And when I remember when we first got it, like just being so stoked, just laying down like plywood before fucking most of the concrete was poured. Cause like, oh, they put in the pyramid, but there's no like whole floor yet, but fuck it. We'll throw some plywood down and we can still skate that pyramid for now. Cause we were just so jacked.
That reminds me so much of that. Like one of my favorite memes I've ever seen is like the kids all laying down on the road and their buddies like launching over them on the most janky wooden launch ramp.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
Like, there's like 5 kids all laid out in front of this janky launch ramp, and this dude's like midair on his bike, like, and it's like kids of like when we grew up, and then like kids of today, like on the iPad, like.
Yeah, totally. Totally, man.
You know, so yeah, it's DIY is where we're at right now. Seeing parks everywhere. It's like I feel like there's a skate park like everywhere but here.
Yeah.
but that being said, there's the local concrete factory here, the plant. They're called Heavy Materials. They got wind of what we're doing, and we. Especially because we said we want to tribute the park, make a tribute to our friend Austin that passed away. He was a dear friend of the community here, and big skater, and one of the ones that was always like, we got to get a park built here and there, you know, like always saying it. And so as they got wind of our mission, they offered to donate 575 cubic yards of concrete, which is about $250,000 worth of a donation.
Holy shit, man. That's rad.
So
who is that again? That was Heavy.
Heavy materials. Yeah, they're
Shout out to Heavy Materials Concrete. Everyone, if you're ever in St. Thomas and need concrete,
yes,
that's where you go.
You know, and so with that contribution, that's our park. You know, we basically just have to like solidify funds for the engineering of the park and who's going to come down to actually do the pouring and the building of it. But the main issue is a piece of land that's flat enough to do it.
Yeah.
And available, because like I said, 13 by 3 Mile Island, what's that, like 18 by 5 clicks?
Something like, yeah. So every piece of land is prime material there.
Prime and spoken for, and another big part of it is it's like a lot of times it's generations deep. So, you know, people just they know how precious our lands is and limited, and a lot of times people don't want to sell their land. But that being said, I've been in contact for the last 2 years. It was right before COVID, no joke, like first week of March 2020, that I met with the head of Sports Park and Rec here on St. Thomas, and Cal White is his name, and we told him the whole pitch and the whole plan, and he was like, we just don't have any land we could give you. You know, you're gonna have to get the land on your own and attain this property. And that the last conversation I had with him, that was almost 2 years ago. The last one I just had with him, like over a week ago, he said, "Great news, we may have a piece of land for you." So
sick, man.
You know, hopefully we watch this the video, you and me chatting right now, in a few months down the road or something, and we're locked in. You know, but we're playing it by ear, and we're just you know, working the netting the work and getting it done here.
Yeah, man. So you'll be pouring some concrete, hopefully, one of these days when we look back.
Yeah.
I wish you luck, man. That would be so sick. So is there like, what's, I mean, do you have like, I just feel like I'm so ignorant too, but it's like, it looks like paradise, but do you have like, are there sort of struggle areas there, poverty, drugs, like, like
100%.
Yeah.
And that's a main reason why we're so apart from having so much fun skateboarding and however you want to shred the park. You know, like we are very focused on offering a positive outlet to a lot of the kids here, because the U.S. Virgin Islands happens to have like, for many years running, we've been the #1 highest homicide ratio of any
really
territory.
Wow.
There's been years where like they post like the, you know, that stat.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Craved statistic, and where it's like USVI Detroit, and then
you're up there with Detroit and probably like East St. Louis and Memphis, places like that. Yeah.
It is per capita, but it's still not a claim we want. And you know, it's a small island. I attribute it to like, it's instant karma. I've always said, like, here in the VI, you do somebody dirty,
you're
gonna have to see him again tomorrow. Like you nowhere to run and hide, and that's just the way it is. So I feel like there's a big issue here is retaliation.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have that, and there's some like drug territory, turf wars that go on, and you know, so whatever is the case, we just want to be able to offer a positive outlet for these kids to do, and the athletic ability here in the Virgin Islands and the tenacity of Virgin Islanders is if anything that should be noted. And the type of athletes that come out of this territory is phenomenal, and I just can't wait to see the progression of how it goes. You know, the children coming up are already like skating barefoot and going up. Kids that haven't touched a skateboard ever in their life until like 3-4 months ago are already like doing tricks on the rail, backside board slides, and going up the
yeah.
Dude,
the progression is so crazy now. Like, I mean, I'm 42, where you're somewhere 37. So yeah. So like when I first started skating, I took me like a year to learn to ollie. And then like like another like 6 months just to turn my nose into like a nose slide on a curb that was the same height as my board, and then maybe like another 6 months to kickflip. And then now you see these kids within a year, because the sport's just so crazy now.
Yeah.
They're doing fucking rails and shit, like you said, like just it's insane.
We also couldn't just bust out YouTube and be like, how do you do a tray flip?
No, you just watch the video. Yeah, no shit, true. And yeah, or have like video games that I think Tony Hawk, I was talking to Darren recently, we were talking about Tony Hawk, but I think that changed the game, because it was like, well, fuck, I don't know if I can do it in this game, because there's so many tricks on that you would never think would be possible. And then that's what everyone's doing now. Like kickflip, nose, fucking blunt slide, like hard flip out. Like that's not okay. People do it now.
Yeah, it's the progression is wild, and that's with, I mean, everything, every sport is wild. It's so cool to watch. You're seeing the equipment and the technology getting better, and just people like wanting it, and there's so much more. I feel like a huge part of it is just so much more video content, like you mentioned, like being able to like see someone do that and like, oh, I could do that better. That, you know, and people want it because they can see it so much more, you know.
Yeah, if you see it, and just the fact that it's out, like even the other day I was just kind of dicking around YouTube, and like there's a brand new Vans video that's just out on YouTube, and I'm sure you remember the day where you had to get the DVD or the VHS of your favorite skate company's video, which I do miss that, because I was sort of, there's something in that as well where it was pretty cool to have that like tangible disc or like VHS. But now like you can just follow the barracks on Instagram and see the sickest shit every single day.
For sure.
So, yeah.
Shit. Dude, I miss coming up to Vancouver and seeing you, brother. I miss coming up to the area.
I know, man. Yeah. I just did a little, I was looking at your Instagram, and it says Percussion for Caddies. Does that mean you're their new drummer, or what's the percussion you're doing?
No, sir. No. I've always been in the back there with the boys doing a little auxiliary percussion, but I'm there to work. You know, I've since the boys brought me in, they brought me in as the state. First, I was selling merch actually initially, but then moved up to stage managing and getting into everything, making sure everything was kosher throughout the set, with all the kids pouring on the stage and all the beers falling over and all the cables pulling out and all keeping it tight. But yeah, from years back, I always do a little auxiliary percussion in the back by when Brian Flanagan was drumming, and with Todd Rosenberg as well, and Boz, you know, throughout the boys, I'd always add a little percussion. And then the tours when we know for sure we got like some more eyes on the stage, and I got more availability to have my hands free from my stage managing duties. I'll they'll set me up a whole station, and with the mic'd up and the whole region. Hey, getting wild. And so yeah, I've always had a little auxiliary percussion there in the back jamming.
Yeah.
But,
and I see you open for them a lot too, because you've got your own Jon Gazi band going.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, for sure. Both both solo and with my dudes. My buddy Hollywood on the bass, he's joined us for a few tours where he was out as the tour videographer, and also playing with me doing the opening set. And Todd Rosenberg, drummer of the Caddies, he joined us. And yeah, man, every once in a while I'll have Rish Malone from here on St. Thomas on the steel pan, and some horns time to time join on the bigger shows and whatnot. But I've been holding down the one-man band for a good while now. It became so tough getting 3 to 5 dudes plus in one room together, you know, just doing when I know I can just show up solo and figure out the electronics, how to do the looping and what I need to travel rig and whatnot. Like,
yeah, that's, I was thinking traveling would be difficult too, right? Like, it's just,
I mean, let alone getting dudes on the plane is is the most difficult, and everybody with everyone's got their things going on, lives going on, and it's a little different than it used to be. I feel like in college and high school, just like, we got, we're a band now,
Yeah.
But we still do it. We just my livelihood is doing the one-man band. I was before the hurricanes here in 2017. We got rocked in 2017. Man.
Did you? What was that? So did that come through and hit like the mainland too? Is that was a big one or something, or?
No, it
just hit you guys.
The main places that got whacked by hurricanes Irma and Maria was the islands to the east of Barbuda and Saint Martin, Antigua, and then they came through the British Irma in particular. Irma was the strongest hurricane in the Atlantic Ocean in recorded history. Gusts up to 300 miles an hour, like tornadoes.
That's insane. That's
sustained
miles. That's fucking insane.
Sustained at 225 miles an hour.
So you just batten down the hatches, or what do you do?
Hold on tight.
Yeah.
But we got, literally, you see all this beautiful green behind me. It looked like straight up nuclear winter when that thing went through. There was not a speck of green on this island. No, but every roof was gone. We didn't live here yet, but this roof was gone, and pretty much most, maybe 80% of houses or so, maybe a little less, like lost their roof entirely. And then Category 5 hurricane strength, and then a week and a half later, Hurricane Maria came through, Category 5 hurricane strength, with more rain on top of, like, Irma was a comparatively dry storm. It was just heavy. Maria came through with more rain than we've ever had. And so talk about insult to injury. You don't have a roof, your house is so yeah, dude. So intense, very intense, to say the very least.
I've been in Florida when like hurricanes are sort of coming, and then I'm getting the hell out of there because they're just pretty much boarding everything up. And that's scary enough, but I imagine on an island it must be, I don't know, you must feel like really like you're on an island in the middle of the like ocean when fucking a hurricane comes in. It must be terrifying.
Well, here's the deal. Like a place like Florida, you're watching the Weather Channel and you're watching the storm coming, and you're like, okay, it's like dancing, and you're like, it's maybe coming here, it's maybe going up the road, and we're gonna be perfectly fine. Because when that eye hits, that's like the epicenter of the most dangerous winds and the most damage. But when they say 2-3 days out, it's coming for sure. It's locked in, that's where it's hitting. You can like get on the highway. Maybe there'll be a lot of traffic, but you can get in your car and you can go north. Here, when it's dancing, and we got less of a chance of it coming to, like, because just it's such a tiny rock. It's got to be like stars align for it to come exactly at us. By the time it's done dancing and they say it's coming, like 4-5 days out, all the flights are sold out. All the building materials like plywood and stuff that you're going to batten down the hatches with are like sold out. Food is gone. So you have to be extremely prepared for the worst, even if it's like nothing even like out there. Nothing. Does
everyone have like hurricane kits then, pretty much? Or
those
should?
Who are smart. Those who got their act together do, but it's a big part of every single year. You gotta be ready. You gotta always have that on your mind, because we live in Hurricane Alley.
Yeah.
This is where it's at, but it had been 23 years since we got hit hard. It was 1995. Hurricane Marilyn was the last time that St. Thomas really got nailed. So a lot of the building infrastructure and whatnot was at least that old, since your roof had been ripped off.
Yeah.
For example. So it's like, and stuff, think of stuff that maybe survived in Maryland or whatever, like then they've been from the 80s or way before that even, like, so a lot of the infrastructure, when you get that type of intense weather, just can't hold.
Dude, it's crazy, man.
Wow.
So on the West Coast, you just don't ever think about like that, but then you go sort of to the east, or I guess even different parts of America, or even the South now, just that, yeah, it's a yearly thing that comes through and you just kind of hope that it dodges you, right?
Yeah, yeah, entirely. But yeah, like I was saying, before those storms, I was playing 10 shows a week solo.
Yeah.
Like one a day, except for Wednesday. I had 4 on Wednesday.
That's
week.
crazy.
I'd wake up, head down to the cruise ship port, and I'd set up at this kiosk that was like welcoming people to go up to the zip line. They have a cool little bar there. I'd play there, then I'd go to the Marriott and play happy hour, and then I'd go into town and I'd play at this spot, like a dinner set, like a fun dinner crowd kind of a set, and then I'd pack that up and go to this other bar and play 10 to 2 a.m. And so it was 4 times, and the singing and whatnot, it gets a little tiring, but 4 times of unloading, setting up,
yeah, buddy,
packing it up, loading it back up, driving, doing it again 4 times. So that was a little maybe even overkill, but I was gung-ho and making, that's how it was happening. So I went from 10 a week till after the hurricanes and Hurricane COVID down to 2 a month.
Dude, I understand, man. I hear you. Oh, fuck. That's like my speaking careers pretty much just got shelved from COVID, because it's just, what do you do, right? It's been slowly coming back, and I'm grateful for that. But it's weird where there's like these things that you kind of take for granted. Like you're like, this is rad. I love doing this. I'll always have it. And then just you woke up one day and it's like, nope. And when am I going to do it again? I don't know.
Dude, I mean, speaking of the caddies, like, it was COVID beginning of March, really, it was when it hit the fan. So I flew to California March 11th from here in St. Thomas to start tour with Flogging Molly and the Street Dogs for with Mad Caddies for the Flogging Molly's Green 17 tour. And we were starting in San Diego on March 12th, and it was like a string of shows ending at St. Patty's Day, 5 shows on March 17th. The last one was at the Hollywood Palladium, and it was already
a banger.
Yeah, and on St. Patty's Day with Flogging Molly, and Street Dogs was their farewell tour.
Yeah.
And the Caddies 25th anniversary tour. Right after that, back to the square one here. That was March 11th, getting ready. The first thing in the morning, March 12th, we get the phone call that, San Diego is not happening, and probably not the other ones either.
Yeah, man. I was in Florida speaking, and this kind of the same thing. I was like, what's a global pandemic? And the next day I was like, okay, we're not booking. I hope tomorrow goes. Then just like, nope.
From there, I was supposed to go straight to the UK to start a run with Buster Shuffle. I don't know if you're familiar with those guys.
I do know that band. Yes.
We've done a bunch of touring with them with the caddies over there, but it was my first time going on my own across the Atlantic, going over to UK. From there, I was gonna head over to Austria to meet up with Spam and do some stuff, play over there. And caddies were right after that. It was gonna be like their big 25th anniversary tour going all around.
Yeah, and you were gonna be coming to Vancouver too.
And yeah, so
it's tough. Yeah, dude. Yeah.
And whatever, I'm just another dude fucking playing but you could play a little violin for us all, but it's we're all in the same boat, and it's wild, but it is what it is. We gotta just roll with it and make the most of what we're able to. We all miss it.
It's true, and it definitely hit the entertainment sector hard. And I know even here, I was talking about that recently, where a lot of people have gone back to work on some level. And like for myself as, a performer, comedy's kind of done all right, but comedy barely pays my gas money, bar tab most nights, you know what I mean? So, but it's almost like everybody's gone back to normal in their lives except for us. And it's kind of like, it almost feels like we're sort of forgotten, because people just kind of think it's been so long. But for anybody who's living in it, it's like, no, like I'm still fucking struggling over here. Like, I'm still waiting for that shit to happen and like
Yeah.
hoping that it happens soon and really wishing people would get vaccinated. I understand people have different opinions on it, but it's just kind of like, I don't think shit's going to open. At least I know where I'm at until we kind of have higher vaccination rates. And it's just been so fucked up, man. It's been crazy. Something I never expected to see in my lifetime, even could have considered or fathomed.
Yeah, the governor's like holding out here as well for a certain percentage rate to happen, and so yeah, it's everywhere is kind of in the same boat, honestly. But you know, I just got done with with a little tear down the east coast of the states from Baltimore down to Charleston, South Carolina.
Yeah, man.
It was 9 shows in 9 days, all great shows. And I'll tell you, the way everyone along the every step of the way kind of acted like COVID was about 5 years ago.
Yeah, they're just ready to fucking say goodbye and carry on with life.
Like, I mean, the general consensus from everybody, the way they'd refer to COVID was like, yeah, you remember like back in COVID.
Yeah.
Like, I think we're still kind of up in it.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, which is kind of scary, but also I don't even know. It's almost like, yeah, it's weird, man. But that's rad. You got some shows. I imagine I've been to a couple kind of like cover band shows and they've been pretty hyped. And I just people are so excited to get back. And it's weird too. Like, I know the show I was at the other night. It was like a Misfits cover band with my friend Betty Bathory, Bloody Betty, who also does a Gigi Allen cover, BB Allen, just unfucking believable. But people started dancing. And then, the people working in the bar were like, no, we got to sit down, no dancing. And it's like,
oh, that's still like that for you guys?
Yeah. And I imagine for your music, like you got that Caribbean vibe, like that is good time dancing, moving, skanking tunes. It's hard to sit down and watch. Even coming from a guy in a wheelchair, it's hard to sit down and watch.
Man, well, that's been my line, dude. Like, it has been like, hey, they say we can't get up and dance, but I know all you got some moves. I know I want to see the best chair dancing all you got. And dude, people get going. People get wild in their chair. It's I didn't even realize you guys were still in that type of restriction, because in the VI here in Virgin Islands, it's exactly the same. So that's been a big part of why I'm just back down. I'm down to as little as 2 shows in a month, and they're both acoustic style shows.
Yeah.
I still do some looping and whatnot, and like with the acoustic guitar, I could get the rhythm going, and but I'm not gonna get up and everyone's got to sit in a chair, so I'm not gonna like be up rocking the fuck out with my 2 keyboards and my kick drum and my whole rig with the electric guitar getting wild when everyone just so
it doesn't match the vibe, kind of.
But like I said, you gotta just do what you gotta do. It felt nice. The night before last, I went over to our sister island of St. Croix, which is 40-mile drive 40 miles from St. Thomas.
Yes.
And
on a boat though, right?
On my own boat, actually. Which is crazy, because I've owned my boat for about almost 9 years now, and there's been maybe like 9 days in those 9 years that I've looked at the water and been like, damn, it is like a lake today. Like even right now, it looks really nice out there, but on the north side, but the wind's south today. So if you go out there, like between here and St. Croix has like rough seas, like
it's a fucking ocean, like open ocean,
dude. And my boat's 25 feet long, so it's not a tiny boat, but it's not a big boat. It's only got 1 engine.
So if one goes down, you're fucked.
If that engine shits the bed, you don't have an engine. So I recently put a new engine. My old engine crapped out on me, so I have a new engine on the boat, so I have that confidence to be able to make that type of a run. So again, like the water looks so nice. Day before yesterday, I was getting ready to book my flight, and I'm like, what am I doing? Like I should just run the boat over there, that way, because I have a nice cabin in the boat.
Yeah.
So that way I could bring like all my instruments. I didn't have to like kind of trim it down to go go on the airplane because they're gonna nail me with the baggage and all that, you know.
Yeah.
So what I'm getting at is I brought my whole rig, and because it was like in a resort, and it was it's called the Fred in St. Croix. It's beautiful resort with this incredible pool and hot tub, and man, I brought the whole rig and made the crossing, and finally got to like let loose and do the whole show and wild the fuck out for a minute.
Hey, you're just stoked.
Yeah, it was good, bro. I was playing different kind of parts and whatnot that I've never even played, because I feel like you put it down for a little while, you know, you get this like different kind of a momentum when you do pick it back up.
Yeah, man. How long you been playing music for anyway?
Man, well, as far as like in public, since 2009, but honestly, forever. I mean, I remember my parents getting me like a legit drum set when I was 5 years old, and when I was 7, my mom bought my dad a guitar, and he basically went like, "What the hell do you want me to do with this thing?" and handed me the electric guitar. And so always loved playing, but first time like really playing like on my own. I take that back. When I went to college in 2002 is when I started my first band in Puerto Rico.
In Puerto Rico.
Yeah, I went to school in Inter-American University over there after high school here in St. Thomas. Went to you see the sun creeping on me? You see it's like a
yeah, man. Dude, I want to be sitting in the sun in the tropics. I'm gonna All right, that wraps things for this episode with Jon Gazi. Hope you enjoyed the first part of 2 episodes. Come back next week to check part 2. We chat about surfing, and I think we talk about dicks a lot, as you do on this podcast. Talk about touring the world, and we'll have a live performance from Jon. But right now, we're going to close her out with a song called Leather Lime. Leather Lime Man by Jon Gazi.
I said, girl, let we line. She said that's a waste of time, but I could not watch her walk away. So I stick up from behind, put on she a little wine, cause I know how she love playing.